Hello everybody, welcome back to another Spooky Sunday video, and welcome to my new little background. And I also have microphones. I'm holding it down here because if I hold it too close to my mouth, the audio sounds really weird. But today is the first installment in my new series in terms of doing videos about TV shows, but more specifically, creepy TV shows. I did a post on my community tab asking you guys if this is something you'd be interested in. Everybody seemed really keen, so I thought I'd get to work and start planning all the videos for you. So the first TV show we're going to start with is The Walking Dead. Obviously we've got zombies there, so that makes it creepy and scary. And then we will do American Horror Story, and with that one we've got witches, we've got serial killers, we've got the Antichrist, we've got the devil, we've got so many things. And then we will do the Vampire Diaries, which will be obviously vampires, werewolves, witches, doppelgangers, the devil, anything and everything. So we're going to start with The Walking Dead because The Walking Dead is probably way up there as one of my most favourite TV shows of all time, if not probably my favourite. And we are going to start with ranking all the villains in The Walking Dead. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So I have my ranker thing down here, but I will insert it in the screen for you about here. So I'll move out the way a little bit so you guys can see. But the tiers that we have are bad to the absolute zombie bone. I created this tier list, by the way, guys. I know that they have them on there, but I wanted to do my own one. I wanted to add my own pictures and my own tier list names. So this is one I've made, and I did it as a one-off, so I don't think that you can actually go on and use it. But if you want me to make one that's public for everyone to use, let me know and I can do that. But getting straight back into it, the first tier, which will be the best tier, like the absolute best villains, will be bad to the absolute zombie bone. Then we have good at being bad. So that's those people that maybe you have a little bit of a soft spot for them, but they're just so good at being bad. Or maybe you absolutely hate them, but again, they're just so good at being bad. Then we have a forgettable baddie. So someone that's probably a really good villain, but they were just forgettable. And that could be down to the way the writers wrote them or the way the storyline planned out, but they're a forgettable baddie. Then we have should have been a walker. The villain was so bad that they may as well have just been a walker. Why were they written in the TV show? Their storyline was annoying. That's who will be going in that tier. We have Gregory, we have Negan, we have the Whisperers, we have Lance, we have Jadis, Shane, the Wolves, the Governor, the Claimers, the CRM, we have Simon, we have Dawn, we have the Reapers, and we also have the people from Terminus. So they're my villains. I know I may have forgot some. If I have, let me know in the comments down below. But without further ado, let's get into ranking all the Walking Dead villains, in my opinion. Okay, so first one we have is Gregory. Now, I actually found Gregory insufferable, and I was so happy when he left the show. I do think the way he died was kind of dark, but he was annoying. He was good at being bad though. Even though he was insufferable and annoying, he was good at being bad. He was good at being the bad guy. He was good at annoying people. He always messed up. He always looked out for himself, and I think he was written very well. So I'm going to put him in good at being bad, even though I hate him, because he was good at being a villain. I'm going to leave Negan till last, because this is a very controversial ranking of the Walking Dead villains, because I know where people will put Negan. So I'm going to go straight on to, let's do Lance. So I actually, controversially, I'm going to put him in a forgettable baddie tier, because although he was a good baddie, he came at the end of the show, and as we all know, if you're an avid watcher of The Walking Dead, the last few seasons of the show were not great, and so I find that a lot of the villains and the baddies in those shows were kind of rubbish or forgettable. Maybe not even rubbish, just forgettable. Like, they were written well, but people weren't really watching the show, and I actually forgot about Lance, even though it was the last season that I watched, or one of the last seasons that I watched. I forgot that he existed until I started preparing everything for this video, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, Lance and Pamela. So I'm going to put him in forgettable baddie, which is probably controversial because I know a lot of people think he's a great villain, and I'm not saying he's a bad villain, I just think he's forgettable. Then we will move on to Jadis. Jadis was good at being bad, I think. I never forgot about Jadis. I always remembered Jadis and everything that she did. But if you've watched Fear the Walking Dead, Jadis reminds me of Victor Strand slightly, in the sense that Victor always looked out for himself. Jadis also always looked out for herself. And when they had the whole all-out war thing and Negan came and then the trash people switched, oh, that was so infuriating. I was so annoyed. So I'm going to put her in good at being bad, even though she really annoys me, and I do find her very similar to Victor in that sense. Maybe I'll do a ranking Fear the Walking Dead villains. Let me know if you'd want to see that. Let's move on to Shane. I'm going to put Shane in forgettable baddie, which I feel like a lot of people are going to be annoyed at, but I only think that he's a forgettable baddie because he was only in like one season pretty much, and I think had he not been killed off pretty early on, he could have turned out to be a really good villain. I think if they'd have had him go off from the group, so Rick and everybody went the way that they did, and then Shane went on his own, I think Shane would have been a really good villain. And I think because they killed him off and like ended that storyline there and then, I feel like he's a forgettable baddie and a wasted potential. Then we will do the wolves. I'm gonna say the wolves should have been a walker. They're annoying. They annoyed me so much. They caused so much hassle for no reason, and their story felt really pointless. Felt like there was a lot of build up and then nothing happened. It's like someone overhyped something on TikTok. Say if you saw a food video on TikTok and then you were like, oh my god, it's gonna be so amazing, and then you go there and it's really bad. That gives me the same vibes as the wolves. So I'm gonna put the wolves in It Should Have Been a Walker because they were just pointless. I am gonna put the claimers in Bad to the Absolute Zombie Bone, which is going to be controversial. I feel like I've used the word controversial so much, but I really do think this is a very odd ranking. I feel like people are going to be very confused on why I've put them there, but I will explain. So the claimers scare me because they're the most likely people you will find in an apocalypse. You're very likely in an apocalypse to run into bad people that were bad before, and then law and order's just gone away and their badness has been times by 6 million. They're R-worders, they're thieves, they're murderers, and you will meet people like that in the apocalypse, and I think that's why they're so scary, because they are the most realistic villain, and it freaks me out. Whenever I watch them, I used to get really spooked out. So I'm going to put them in Bad to the Absolute Zombie Bone just because they're such a realistic villain, and they were awful. Then I'm going to put CRM in Good at Being Bad. I haven't really watched much on the CRM. I haven't seen the new Rick and Michonne show, which I'm sure will probably go into the CRM more. I did watch World Beyond, I think it's called, but I feel like I didn't really see a lot of the CRM, even though a lot of the show was based on the CRM. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I felt really confused by that show. And had I not watched deep dives, video essays and stuff on it afterwards, I feel like there's a lot of things I would have missed and not realised happened. So I'm going to put CRM at Good at Being Bad because they were good at being bad. They caused a lot of issues. And like I said, I haven't watched the Rick and Michonne show, so I don't know what actually happens with them. So no spoilers in the comments until I'm able to watch it. None of the spin-offs are in the UK. I haven't been able to watch the Rick and Michonne one, or the Daryl Dixon one, or Dead City. If anybody knows where I can watch those or when they're coming to the UK, let me know because I am desperate to watch them. But for now, I think maybe I'd change my mind in the future after watching those shows, but for now I think I'm going to put CRM in Good at Being Bad, and I'm pretty happy with that decision. Simon. I'm going to put Simon in Good at Being Bad again because he was a good bad guy. Like, he was one of those people that were just bad to the bone. But I also don't think he was bad to the absolute zombie bone because he was too hot-headed, he was too emotional. And I mean emotional in the sense that he let anger rule. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't emotional as in a happy person. I just feel like he wouldn't have made a good leader. He went a bit off the rails, and he was good at being bad when he was being bad, but I wouldn't say he's claimer level or other villain levels whenever I get to those ones. But I'm sure that you'll all have a different opinion. Let me know in the comments down below if you have a different opinion. Dawn should have been a walker. The storyline where Beth gets killed is so pointless. I feel like Beth had so much more potential, or they should have kept it to the comic book storylines of where Beth gets killed at the prison. At least it would have been a more interesting death for her character. I just feel like the whole hospital storyline was so silly, and then the way Beth died was so silly, and if they were going to kill her off literally in the following season after the prison, they may as well have just killed her off in her comic book death way. I feel like it was so stupid and a missed opportunity. So I'm just going to put Dawn in Should Have Been a Walker because we all don't like Dawn and she was annoying and the whole storyline was pointless and she should have just been a walker. The Reapers, I'm going to put Forgettable Baddie because I don't think they should have been a walker level, although they're very close, but I do think they're forgettable. And I think a lot of people will agree with me on that one. They caused a lot of chaos in the bit of the series that they were in though. And there was times where I was genuinely a bit scared of them. But I do think they're forgettable. Again, the same with Lance. I feel like I just kind of forgot about them, even though they were in the most recent seasons. That could be down to the story writing. I know someone's expressed this whole boomerang way of the show being written where they'll focus on one character storyline for one episode and then a different one for the next one. And then you're waiting like 6 episodes to find out about the first character storyline, and then it all comes back together at the end and it's all confusing. So it could be that too, but I just find the Reapers forgettable. Terminus, I'm going to put Terminus in Bad to the Absolute Zombie Bone, and the reason I'm going to put them there is because they turned into cannibals so early on in the apocalypse. They didn't turn into cannibals 10 years into the apocalypse. They turned into cannibals really early on, and also I'm pretty sure they killed kids, and I just think people that are going to kill kids and be cannibals are bad to the absolute zombie bone, and I'm going to put Terminus up up there. Even though they were only in the story for a short period of time, I do think the storyline was really good, and I do think they were bad to the absolute zombie bone. Okay, now we're at the top 3 villains of the series. So we've got Negan, we've got the Whisperers, and we've got the Governor. I am probably going to put all of these in bad to the absolute zombie bone, but I gotta figure out what order I'm gonna put them in. Let's start with the Governor. I'm gonna put the Governor in second place of bad to the absolute zombie bone. And the reason I'm gonna put the Governor in second place is because the Governor was genuinely irredeemable. The Governor was so far gone. I don't think there was anything anybody could have done or said to change the way he was acting, the things he believed in. I don't think he was redeemable, and the things that he did were so bad and so messed up that I feel like he has to be at least second in bad to the absolute zombie bone. He was a great villain. I'm then going to put Negan, and this is where it's going to be controversial. This is where people are going to be, I think, fuming at me, but I'm going to put Negan third place. Just put him there. Just hear me out, okay? The reason I'm putting Negan third place is because he was redeemable. He's still in bad to the absolute zombie bone because of the stuff that he did was awful. There was parts where I thought there's no way that Negan is redeemable, but then the show changed my mind. Although I still kind of don't forgive him, I know a lot of the audience do, and so do a lot of the cast. And that's why I can't put Negan number 1 on bad to the absolute zombie bone, because he still has a soul, he still has a heart, and he cared. And I think he felt guilt about the way he acted in the past, and he tried to make it better. So although he was bad to the absolute zombie bone, he can't be number 1, even though everything he did, because he's redeemable. And so I'm going to put the Whisperers in number 1. And I know this is going to be very controversial because I feel like a lot of people will probably have put the Governor at number 1. But the Whisperers, when I watched the story arc of the Whisperers, that was probably the first time in the whole show where I actually felt like I don't know how these guys are going to win. And you have to remember that in the Governor story arc, Rick was there, Khlo was there, everyone was there. And it was very early on. They were still learning how to fight villains, whatever. But I feel like they were very strong in the season arc. The Whisperers came and Rick is gone. Carl's gone. Michonne is basically not there. You've got the Whisperers killing 8 people all in one time, putting their heads on spikes. It was absolutely insane. And then they had a Walker army. And at this point in the show, there's not enough weapons to fight all of these zombies. And so I just feel like the Whisperers were probably the worst villain for me because of the time that they came into the show. Had the Whisperers come when Rick and everyone was there, maybe they would have been able to figure out a plan to get rid of the Whisperers quicker and then save more people, and it wouldn't have been as much of an impact. But to have Carol scared made me scared, because Carol is a crazy girl. Carol, I feel like, would be anyone. Carol's character development was insane. And so the Whisperers for me scared me so much that they are bad to the absolute zombie bone, and they are first place. So this is my official The Walking Dead villain ranking. So I hope you guys like this video. Maybe you agree with me on some of these. If not, it's okay. Just let me know in the comments down below. We don't have to be mean. Just let me know your opinions, your ranking, and let's have fun with this. I'm excited to rate other villains from other TV shows, like I said, The Vampire Diaries, American Horror Story. Let me know if you want me to rank villains from Fear the Walking Dead, because I do like Fear the Walking Dead, and there are some good villains in there, so let me know about that. But I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, please remember to smash a massive thumbs up, and please subscribe. I would love to have you around. I post videos every week. On a Sunday, it's called Spooky Sunday. I also post spooky videos on TikTok. My TikTok over there is Get Spooked, or you can follow my normal TikTok, which is khlokoyt. My Instagram is khlokoyt. But yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye.